Alright, this is Calibos, and we're playing Project Ozone 3. So, as you've noticed, some things have changed. Most notably this. And I'll get to that in a second. So, I got this going, and we ended up making, or I ended up making some more of these. Because I thought, man, I'm going to need to have some, essence for stuff. And so I grew all this out, and then I set this up, just like I said I was going to do. And then I had a moment of panic, because in less than, 2 or 3 minutes, I had 3,000 Inferium Essence. It may even have been faster than that. It was pretty crazy. So I'm like, well, heck. So remember the master infusion crystal that we were trying to make? So I made it. And if you'll look, see how it's flashing green like that? It's actually crafting that fast. And if we look at this one on the end, it's doing the same thing. And you'll notice there's a second master infusion crystal here. Well, let me show you something. So, Inferium Essence. We're finally down to 6,000. And I say down to because we basically hit 30 or 40,000 really, really, really fast. So what I'm doing with this, and you'll notice it's not even going down all that quickly, is it's crafting it into the Prudentium here. And then this one is crafting Prudentium. You notice Master Infusion Crystal. I went through a lot of diamonds and redstone. A lot. So it's taken the chain up to Intermedium. And then here's the Intermedium, and it's going up to Superium. And this is taking the Superium and going up to Supremium. Notice it's a bunch slower. And this one is taking the Supremium and going up to Insanium. You'll notice that it is very slow. But I think I had this worked out at some point. Like one Supremium Essence is like, I don't know, 1,024 or 2,048 of the Inferium. So it's a lot. So we have 60 Insanium Essence here, which represents a huge, huge amount of Inferium. So the other thing that I did was I came over here and I went ahead and I taught it how to craft each one into the lower level so that we don't have to make it. And then you'll notice, like above it, I have it. I taught it how to make the blocks, like so. So now we can craft anything from the top tier one. So the way this setup works is we'll start here. So you'll notice that I have a pattern here. Now this is the other way that molecular assemblers work. So what it does is if you give it a single pattern instead of setting up with an interface like we have over here. So none of these have patterns in them. All the patterns are in the interfaces here, right? So this will actually interact with both, this molecular assembler, this one, and then the one that's on the opposite side. So it has contact with 3 molecular assemblers, right? Well, these, if I head to the right direction, are set up independently. They have a single recipe. All this thing can craft is this recipe. Now, I went ahead and I simply placed the stone in here, like the stone is actually in here. And then the import bus, which puts the stuff back into the system, does not let the stone leave. So the stone is always going to be in there. And I made 6 stones, which didn't take that long, and I mean, we weren't really that far off of it. So that was that process. Now, I have discovered, much to my dismay, that I appear... Oh, no, I didn't. I thought I had junked the glowstone seeds. That's good, because I was about to make new ones, which is why I taught it how to downgrade the essence. Well, that's good. That saves me a lot. Oh, we need to charge this. Let's charge this. I've been doing a lot of powery things. We also need to go check the reactor because powery things. So this is empty. We're going to activate it again because we're crazy for power. So this is going to fill up really quick. And we're going to come over here. Now that it's about there, we're going to turn it off, and it's still going to fill up because we just produce stupid amounts of power. We do. And this isn't even like the most that you can get out of these. So if you set this up with a turbine, you can actually, I think it's like 4 times the amount of power or something like that. It's a crazy multiplier with turbines. They're great. So you'll also notice that the growth chamber is here instead of over here. I kind of ran out of... Well, I didn't really run out of things. What is... Okay, right. So this is just exporting into the pulverizer for that. So we're going to set up... So over here we have these 2 chests. You'll notice they're red, red, red. And they basically just smelt stuff. And that's fine. We have a lot of things to smelt. So we're going to set up a matching thing now because we have a lot of things that need to be ground up. And I would like to be able to tell the system to automatically grind them, like, for example, Fluix crystals. So I went ahead and made a bunch of Fluix crystals. But we're going to have to be able to make Fluix dust on demand if we want to be able to make glass cables and stuff. We're also going to have to set up a system to automate the making of Fluix crystals. So what we had set up before didn't do that. All it really did was we would put the stuff in the thing, and then it would export it into the system. It wasn't very automatic at all, so it's very unfortunate. We actually need to make let's see, dense. So what I'm trying to do is finish what we started as far as setting this up to make so that we can make all of our ME parts on demand rather than so we'll say 10. So we need wool. How many string do we have? String. We have a little bit of string. So let's go ahead and tell it that that is the recipe for string. And that is a recipe for wool. And then we'll also tell it that this is a recipe for wool. Now, I've been experimenting a little with that, and it seems to work as long as both recipes are valid. But, you know, sometimes you screw up, and I do that. Alright, so that should give us the 10. And the reason that we want these 10 is, if you'll notice, I have another memory card here. So this is a peer-to-peer tunnel. And I deliberately have set this up so that I can take that and I can do this. And everything will continue to work just fine and dandy. It'll take a little bit of time for these to kick back in. We might actually be done, in theory. Ah, it's done. Sweet. So, Insanium. So all of that went down to 68 Insanium. So, yeah, I had stupid amounts of this stuff. Stupid amounts. One channel. Import. Should not. Okay, that was weird. Like it got jammed up or something. I don't know. So, yeah. And it's just going to keep making them forever. Ad nauseum. Let's clean out our inventory slightly. But the reason that we wanted to separate this out is this has 12 channels coming off of it. So we are going to set up this chest. And then we're going to say export bus, which it now knows how to make export buses. So we only want 3 export buses. Oh, we have an extra one. Okay, that's fine. We'll use them. So this is going to be our cabling for stuff that we want crushed. So red is smelting, blue is crushing. Because I'm making a random Halo joke. I know, I'm insane. So there are things that we're always going to want crushed. And I think that these are some of them. Now I'm going to look because so the uses for this. If we smelt it down, we get 2 emerald. If we enrich it, we get 4 diamonds. 4 gems. Furnace. Pulverizer gives us 3. Induction smelter gives us 2. Alloy smelter gives us 2. Sag mill gives us 5 with the possibility of 2 more. So, question is, uses for these, if we enrich it, we get 2. Grinder gives us 2. Furnace gives us 1. Pulverizer gives us 2. It looks like 2. I mean, besides Starlight and Fusion. Sagmill appears to be our best bet here besides emerald seeds. So for the moment, let's leave these. We don't really care. The Certus quartz, it keeps doing that. I keep doing that. So we definitely want to grind these out. So Certus quartz. Let's expansion cards. Expansion. Oh, capacity cards. My bad. Alright, so now we have taught it how to make capacity cards. So we're going to need, what, 6? In order to make the capacity cards, we need basic cards. So we'll do that. And so yeah, the setting it up takes a little bit. We add a lot more individual steps to our first crafting. But long term, it goes much faster. So we'll crank 2 in there, crank 2 in there, crank 2 in there. So we want smart cables. We're going to go this way. Okay, so dense cable, we need cable anchors. Again, we're running into the, we do not want them to touch. So dense cable, dense cable, dense cable, dense cable. So this, and then we go cable anchor, cable anchor. And we do this, and this, and that. And so now this chest is going to start filling with Certus quartz and charged Certus quartz. And what good is this, you ask? Well, not very much, until we start getting into this. So this we can place pretty much anywhere we want. So if we do this and that, and then we go ahead and get a ender chest, and that, and then we're going to go ahead and make a flint chest, because I can. Let's make one more. I always forget to make a second one, but I should. So we'll make these gray. I don't think I'm using gray for anything. Gray. Gray dye. Alright, so that gives us the gray dye that we need. So we can just pop these down. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. We can do this and that. I should have just made mind, it would be done already. But here we are, I'm not a genius. So I'm just going to go ahead and pop that there. So this now has 7 channels. We're going to get an export bus, which we have right here. We're just going to slap it on the side of this. We're going to get a piece of flint. And we're going to do that in there. And now we're going to come over to this chest. We're starving again. I do a lot of running around. It's a good thing pizza's free, right? So, first thing we do is we pull from the top. So now it's always going to have flint in it. And if we want to, we can actually change this to something else. And then we tell it to push from that to that side. So that will automatically put all of that in the system. And here's the complicated part. Now we give it power. I know, right? Who knew that this could be so difficult? Out. So now, anything that we put that gets put into this chest is automatically going to get sucked into the sag mill and ground up. Pretty cool, right? So we can go ahead and take a, I don't know, nether bunch of stuff. So I don't know about nether quartz, nether diamond, nether gold, nether redstone, nether lead, nether lapis. So let's go ahead and toss these in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Get rid of these really quick. Okay, let's sort the inventory. There we go. So now when we look at nether stuff, they're going away. So now we're going to do coal. Iron. Didn't we do diamond? Aluminum. Mithril. Okay, so let's go ahead and fill the rest of this with acceleration cards. So it's going to go faster now. So now we can do that. And now if we look in here for nether, it is much, much neater. So now we have nether emerald ore and nether copper. Put that here. There we go. So I think that this also can be ground down, so we'll toss that in there and see what happens. So yeah, it's not super fast as far as exporting, but I mean, it's working. Let's see how we're doing on as far as flint. So yeah, we're still... That's probably going to drain all of the flint out of the system, which is fine. I don't care. Next bit of excitement for us. Well, I think that's actually all we can handle for today, but we have done quite a bit. We've set up automated grinding. Even better, when we next start, I'm going to go ahead and put an interface on this side. And then we're going to start not just automated grinding, but deliberate grinding. So as part of a recipe. But, yep, I'll leave that for now. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I certainly did. I'm mostly glad that this is knocked out. Yeah. So if you like the episode, please leave a like. If you don't like the episode, you know, don't leave a like. Maybe, I don't know, tell me why. And, you know, we'll go from there, right? So, have a good night.